Hi, hello. Okay,
No,
good
espera, ya.
afternoon. Good afternoon, hello.
Ujú.
Okay, my name is Jamie Gomez. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webinar. Let's have a few minutes while other English teachers can connect today. It's Friday, and we love Friday. We are exhausted, but thanks for your connection today. Okay, let me have a warm welcome for all the English teachers connected today from Bogota and all the institutions who are sharing with us these wonderful resources materials for teachers, either for primary school, secondary school, and that's what we are going to have for you today. In this afternoon, please, I would like you to help us. Tell us in the chat where are you connecting from, what's your school name, just to give a warm welcome to all the teachers connecting right now. Well, everybody's just welcome. Thank you for your time. We know we are having some lunch break times as well, but thanks for connecting, right? Okay, today we have a special English advisors team. Me and my colleagues will be sharing with you all of these resources and these wonderful English professionals are helping us with me today. Okay, Gina Arias, David Ariza, Paula Ayala, Jairo Sarmiento, and Miguel Ramirez, and finally me. Okay. So tell us who is connecting right now in the chat. Where are you connecting from? Your school's name, and let me also uh, introduce my colleague Miguel Ramirez this afternoon. Hello, Miguel.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jamie. Thank you very much for having us and for that wonderful presentation. And yeah, of course. So all of us basically took your students, teachers to a wonderful trip. So we were in England, we were in India, we were at Dorado Airport, Italy, Australia. So we were in many places, and today is the webinar where you're gonna travel with us. Of course, no, Jamie? So fantastic. Vamos a ver quién nos acompaña por acá. Bueno, te puedo decir que tenemos a Ida Areolo from Colegio Ciudad de Bogotá. Profe, bienvenida. Esperamos que disfrutes este evento.
Okay, good. Let's give them a few minutes while they also share the link for other colleagues to connect, either from primary schools, secondary schools, to join us this afternoon. Okay. Yes, of course, this is the wonderful, fantastic team who was in charge of the webinars for Saber Once in the past month, and we travel around with your students, taking them through the opportunity to see and learn different aspects, not only about Saber Once, but around the world. That's why we have this traveling look. Okay. Um, well, this webinar is brought to you by Plan Distrital de Bilingüismo on behalf of British Council and Secretaría de Educación. And our agenda for today is the following, okay? Then we are going to think about and talk to you about resources, teachers' resources, and either for both, for primary and for secondary schools. The second part, we're going to take a look around taking my next step, which is a Moodle course. We're going to be describing you all of those wonderful materials for your students. And on the third place, in our third module today, we will be taking a look at Cartilla Know Now. Now, I have a question for all our participants today. ¿Qué recursos para docentes? ¿cuáles son esos recursos para los docentes que conocemos? Esa es la pregunta que tenemos para iniciar este webinar y invitarlos a participar a través del chat. ¿Qué recursos conocemos para nuestras clases en primaria, para nuestras clases en secundaria, que podemos encontrar y tener a la mano para nuestras clases? Bueno, Miguel, vamos a dar un momento para que todos nos compartan sus opiniones. Okay, let's get your participation through the chat.
Ajá, fantástico. Y aprovecho, Jamie, para
Okay.
para comentarles a nuestros asistentes, a nuestros profes, vamos a enviar la lista de asistencia, no se vayan a ir, profes, sin diligenciarla. Y estamos totalmente seguros que estos materiales les van a complementar esas clases que están llevando a cabo en sus instituciones. Entonces, no se les olvide presentarse, sus nombres, de qué institución vienen, si son profesores de primaria o de secundaria. Mientras que ya tenemos aquí, Jamie, los comentarios de los profes. Ya volvemos en directo, como dicen. Yeah.
Ok, ya ahorita regalamos un saludo para todos esos docentes que nos acompañan hoy en esta tarde de viernes con lluvia también. Bueno, let's see the rule games. The rule of this game are good. Well, at first, let's use the chat. If you are connecting from the cell phone, sometimes you can tap the cell phone and search for the chat so you can read the comments from other teachers, okay? So we're going to be kind with all the workshop presenters today and our colleagues who will be commenting us on the chat. We have some moments in which we have some questions for you, so join us in the chat. Please don't be shy. Every answer will be welcome. Also, we will be sharing with you some apps or websites shared at a certain moment of these workshops. So we will have to be really attentive on each one of the indications provided. Now, the first one is, I have a question for you to be shared in the chat. What public resources provided by Secretaría de Educación and Ministerio de Educación do you know to strengthen and teaching and learning of English, either both for primary levels or for secondary levels? Okay, so think about those materials or resources and let us know in the chat. Okay, what information do we have registered in the chat so far, Miguel?
Claro, pues mira, te quiero comentar, Aida, the teacher, Aida said, resources bank, learning box, webinars. So I'm glad to hear that, especially because we have been working really hard about it. So good. Pruebas de calibración, Know Now booklet we have as well. Bueno, y hasta el momento tenemos esos recursos. Bueno, tenemos aquí otra. Way to Go books as well. So we have Way to Go. Look at that. So we have many resources.
They know their ways. Okay.
English, please.
Exactly. Okay. Bien, entonces vamos a ver todos estos recursos. La idea es que en este taller, esta tarde de hoy, tengamos una exploración muy detallada, profesores, para que todos ustedes tengan bastantes comentarios también en ese coffee break con los otros colegas y tengamos toda la información a la mano, en dónde encontrar los recursos y en dónde se disponen para ustedes. Okay, so let's go on with this first part of the module. Okay, in this first part, I'd like you to meet our colleagues and English advisors, Paula Ayala and Jairo Sarmiento, who will be talking to you about those resources, okay?
Hello, Jamie. How is it going? How are you doing today?
Excellent, Jairo.
Okay, we're very happy.
Hello, Jairito. What's up?
Good. How are you, Pau?
I'm fine. Thank you. What about you? What about you, dear teachers that are connected here in this marvelous webinar? I would like to know how are you? the same information that my partner Miguel and Jamie mentioned before, where you are connected from. And we're going to start this first part of the webinar, Jairito.
So yes, Pau, thank you very much. As my friend Paula said, we're going to begin with the first part in our agenda that we have prepared for today. And that first part in our agenda is about teaching resources for primary and secondary teachers. We're going to be switching between English and Spanish. Vamos a estar moviéndonos entre español e inglés. La idea es que entonces podamos explorar todos estos recursos a través de la exploración que vamos a dar a continuación. Entonces, Pau, ¿estás lista para que comencemos?
Claro que sí, Jairito. Let's go on.
Okay, thank you very much, my friend. So, Pau, what about if we show in this moment our teachers where they can find these resources? Pau, ¿dónde podemos encontrar estos recursos que vamos a describir a continuación?
Bueno, te cuento que vamos a proyectar un pequeño video que nos muestra el dónde justamente están allí ubicados los recursos y adicionalmente, pues para darles un resumen, recuerden siempre que toda esta información la encuentran en red académica, especialmente abarcando el área de inglés en la página del Plan Distrital de Bilingüismo. Entonces veamos este video cortico y allí vamos a encontrar los recursos que vamos a hablar a continuación. Well, Jairito, so where we can find these resources? Again, in Red Académica, the idea is that you explore all these materials that we're going to share with you today. And Jairito is going to start sharing information about resources for primary school.
So yes, Pau, thank you very much. Yes, we're going to begin in this moment with our teachers from primary level. But before I tell them a little bit about the resources, there is a question. What is a resources bank for teachers? So based on the information provided by Secretaría de Educación Distrital, Plan Distrital de Bilingüismo, this strategy seeks to generate a bank of materials for the teaching and learning of English aimed at primary, secondary, and middle school teachers so that you, my dear teachers, can use those materials for two different purposes. Number one, for remote teaching activities, so in case you have some students at home or something, or number two, to reinforce and complement the content that you are developing within the classroom, okay? So in this moment, voy a cambiar a español, voy a explicar entonces a mis profes de primaria que se encuentran conectados en este momento, ¿qué tipo de recursos o materiales tenemos disponible para ustedes, profes? Primero, debemos entender que tenemos 9 guías de docente y 9 objetos de aprendizaje. Son materiales que están pensados desde dos lógicas diferentes. La primera, pensados en función del maestro. Una guía para los docentes que nos permite saber con mucho nivel de detalle cuáles son las actividades que se proponen, cuál es el nivel de dificultad o el nivel de lengua que tienen estas actividades, cuánto tiempo como profe debo demorarme para la implementación de cada una de las actividades, qué tipo de skill, qué tipo de habilidad estoy desarrollando en cada una de estas actividades. Esa guía para docentes es completa, mis profes, está llena de información y de detalles que nos van a permitir saber usar, saber implementar el objeto de aprendizaje. Y cuando hablamos del objeto de aprendizaje, estamos hablando de un material que en este caso está pensado y está enfocado directamente en los estudiantes. Y entonces estos objetos de aprendizaje son como tal la guía, la actividad, el material que les vamos a entregar a ellos en el cual van a poder desarrollar las actividades. Todo este material que está pensado y diseñado para ustedes, profes de primaria, se divide en 3 niveles: el nivel A0 o pre-A1, el nivel A1 y el nivel A2. Quiere decir que vamos del nivel más básico, más bajito, tal vez para los más chiquitos, hasta un nivel intermedio, un nivel un poquito más avanzado, siendo el nivel A2 todavía un nivel básico, pero previo a todo lo que va a pasar luego entonces en educación básica secundaria. El nivel A0, como ustedes pueden ver, tiene un enfoque que está muy coherente con la dificultad de ese nivel y con la posible edad que puedan tener los pequeños en esta etapa. Teaching and Learning through Sounds and Music, un enfoque pensado desde la enseñanza y el aprendizaje a través de los sonidos y la música. Se sugieren unos temas con base en este nivel y con base en el enfoque que se propone. Number 1, the alphabet and numbers. Number 2, my family and friends. Number 3, at my school. Pasamos entonces al nivel A1, un nivel un poco allí intermedio, teniendo en cuenta los 3 niveles que se proponen en el material para primaria. Y aquí el enfoque de enseñanza y aprendizaje ya no es a través de los sonidos y de la música, sino a través de los juegos. Teaching and Learning through Games. Como en el anterior nivel y como en el anterior enfoque, tenemos 3 temas sugeridos con base en el nivel, en la posible edad que tengan los niños. Number 1, my body, body parts. Number 2, food. And number 3, farm and zoo animals. Estos temas, profes, como ustedes se pueden dar cuenta, son muy atractivos. Son temas que les llegan al corazón a nuestros estudiantes y que seguramente los van a disfrutar muchísimo a través de un objeto de aprendizaje que está excelentemente desarrollado para la enseñanza y el aprendizaje del inglés. Y finalmente, el último nivel que encontramos en los materiales para básica primaria, tenemos el nivel A2, que tiene un enfoque distinto a los otros dos. En este caso es un enfoque a través de drawing and coloring in the primary classroom. Entonces ya no es con música y sonidos, ya no es un enfoque de enseñanza y aprendizaje a través de los juegos, sino que la estrategia aquí o el medio, el enfoque que vamos a usar es a través de los dibujos y colorear en el salón de primaria. Los 3 temas que se proponen para este nivel A2, con base en el enfoque y en la posibilidad de los estudiantes, son: número 1, what I do in my spare time. What do I do in my free time? When I have no responsibilities, what do I do? How do I take advantage of the time? Number 2, shopping at the mini market. And number 3, taking a tour in my hometown. Entonces, profes, estos son los 3 niveles que se proponen para el material que tiene básica primaria, con sus respectivos enfoques y temas sugeridos, adaptados a cada uno de los niveles, los cuales se distribuyen en 9 objetos de aprendizaje, que a su vez vienen acompañados por 9 guías de docente llenas de detalles para que el profe o la profe sepa muy bien cómo utilizar y sacarle provecho al máximo a este material. Otro aspecto muy importante que quiero destacar sobre el material para básica primaria, para profes de primaria en el proceso de enseñanza y aprendizaje del inglés, es que todo este material y todos estos recursos están completamente articulados y alineados con el currículo sugerido de inglés para primaria. ¿En qué sentido o cómo se relacionan o articulan estos recursos con el currículo sugerido de inglés? Número 1, el currículo sugerido de inglés cuenta con unos indicadores de desempeño que básicamente lo podríamos entender también como los resultados de aprendizaje del proceso. Cuando yo digo al final de la implementación de este material o al finalizar esta clase, al finalizar este periodo académico, los estudiantes podrán hacer ¿qué? Esa es la pregunta. Entonces, el currículo sugerido de inglés nos propone unos indicadores de desempeño muy bien construidos, muy específicos, muy alcanzables en el marco de lo que se propone para primaria, y esto está articulado entonces también con los derechos básicos de aprendizaje y con unos enfoques de aprendizaje muy específicos. En el caso de primaria, para los grados primero, segundo y tercero, el enfoque de aprendizaje basado en tareas o task-based learning. Y para el caso de cuarto y quinto, el enfoque de aprendizaje basado en proyectos o project-based learning. Como ustedes pueden ver, mis profes de primaria, Los derechos básicos de aprendizaje se relacionan muchísimo con los indicadores de desempeño que nos propone el currículo sugerido de inglés. Les decía hace un momento, podríamos pensar también, cuando hablamos de estos indicadores de desempeño o de estos derechos básicos de aprendizaje, podríamos pensarlo desde la lógica de los resultados de aprendizaje o lo que yo como profe espero que mis estudiantes puedan hacer finalizando su proceso de formación, finalizando la implementación de un objeto de aprendizaje. Un ejemplo de ello lo tenemos aquí, es que al finalizar la implementación de X objeto de aprendizaje, mis estudiantes podrán intercambiar información sobre hábitos, gustos y preferencias sobre temas conocidos siguiendo modelos presentados por el docente. Quiere decir que el objeto de aprendizaje estará completamente alineado a alcanzar ese derecho básico de aprendizaje, ese indicador de desempeño o como yo lo llamo, ese resultado de aprendizaje que se propone a partir del material o del recurso. Vamos entonces en este camino de exploración por los recursos que tenemos diseñados y disponibles además en red académica. Les contaba a mi compañera Paula, ahorita proyectábamos un video de dónde pueden ustedes descargar, apenas terminemos este webinar, pueden ir y explorar red académica, pueden descargar los materiales que están completamente disponibles para todos ustedes. En ese sentido, quiero concentrarme por un momento en la guía para docentes, ¿sí? Y es que el objeto de aprendizaje, como les decía, es como tal el ejercicio de implementación. Es la guía o es la actividad tipo worksheet que le vamos a entregar a nuestros estudiantes para que ellos desarrollen los ejercicios que allí vienen y puedan alcanzar esos indicadores de desempeño que se proponen. Pero entonces la guía del docente es la que está llena de detalles, es la que está llena de información específica, información clave para que esa implementación del objeto de aprendizaje sea completamente efectiva y exitosa. Quiero destacar entonces en esta guía de docente cuáles son las partes que componen un objeto de aprendizaje. Y entonces aquí hablamos de 6 partes principales que componen el objeto de aprendizaje. A los estudiantes en su objeto de aprendizaje no les va a salir toda esta explicación. Como les decía, esta es la información que contiene específicamente la guía para docentes. Vamos a encontrar entonces en todos los objetos de aprendizaje 6 diferentes momentos o 6 diferentes partes, cada una con un propósito muy específico. La parte número 1, Let the Adventure Begin, es una parte fundamental que nos permite generar un contexto, que nos permite mostrarle a los estudiantes a través de unas actividades muy interesantes de qué vamos a aprender hoy, cuál es el tema de nuestra clase, cuál es el tema que vamos a desarrollar a partir de nuestro objeto de aprendizaje. Entonces allí vamos a encontrar actividades de contexto que nos permitan familiarizarnos con ese tema y saber y montarnos un poco, digo yo, en la onda del tema que vamos a trabajar hoy. Parte número 2, let's get ready. Cuando hablamos de let's get ready es como alistémonos un poco, terminémonos de preparar para lo que viene. Y entonces en esta segunda parte vamos a introducir, vamos a presentar todo el vocabulario que es clave. ¿Cuáles son esas palabras claves? ¿Cuál es el léxico específico que yo necesito que mis estudiantes conozcan o manejen para que la implementación de este objeto de aprendizaje sea totalmente efectivo? Quiere decir que todas las actividades del Let's Get Ready que van a encontrar en los objetos de aprendizaje van a ser actividades que van a introducir o presentar el vocabulario relacionado con el tema. Pasamos a un tercer momento, una tercera parte de estos objetos de aprendizaje y tiene que ver con una primera práctica. Cuando hablamos de hands-on, manos a la obra, vamos a empezar a trabajar y aquí vamos a ver que se divide en 2 momentos diferentes, hands-on 1, hands-on 2. Cuando hablamos de hands-on 1, es una primera práctica, un primer ejercicio que está muy controlado por el profe, que está guiado por el profe, modelado, que el profe está supervisando constantemente, que está tal vez reforzando un poco el conocimiento lexical, el conocimiento gramatical, las estructuras, todo lo que es necesario para lograr llegar a esos indicadores de desempeño que nos propusimos al final o esos resultados de aprendizaje. Pero es una práctica muy guiada, muy supervisada, muy modelada por los docentes. Por el contrario, hands-on 2 es un poco una práctica más libre, es una práctica en la cual empezamos a ver cómo los estudiantes empiezan a hipotetizar, cómo empiezan a lograr desarrollar o ir consolidando esos resultados de aprendizaje o esos derechos básicos que nos propusimos o esos indicadores de desempeño a través de ejercicios un poco más libres y más comunicativos, ya no tanto desde la forma, desde la estructura, sino más en pro de la comunicación, que finalmente es lo que buscamos, que nuestros estudiantes a través de alguna de las funciones del lenguaje pues puedan lograr hacer algo a partir de lo que han aprendido. Quiere decir que hands-on 2 es una práctica que genera producción comunicativa, básicamente. Llegamos a un momento fundamental, al momento quinto o a la parte quinta de esta guía docente, que recuerden, la guía docente es sobre el objeto de aprendizaje y es Let's Check. Cuando hablamos de Let's Check, hablamos de cuál es la tarea de consolidación, cuál es el ejercicio de producción que me va a permitir a mí evidenciar que efectivamente mis estudiantes han logrado esos indicadores de desempeño que se propusieron o han alcanzado esos resultados de aprendizaje que dispusimos. Quiere decir que el Let's Check es una tarea un poco más consolidada, es una tarea que nos permite tener un producto final de ese aprendizaje que ellos han tenido y que se manifiesta, por supuesto, a través de alguna de las habilidades comunicativas de escribir o de hablar, por ejemplo. Y finalmente, como una estrategia de evaluación formativa, vamos a encontrar la parte 6, que es My Learning Progress. Cuando hablamos de My Learning Progress, siempre vamos a encontrar ejercicios de evaluación formativo, preferiblemente enfocados desde la autoevaluación, en el cual a partir de unos statements, de unas oraciones, enunciados, le vamos a preguntar a los mismos niños y niñas que ellos, teniendo en cuenta su desempeño en el desarrollo del objeto de aprendizaje, el nivel de dificultad, el nivel de agilidad con el que desarrollaron los ejercicios, según cómo resultó ese producto final del aprendizaje de ellos, pues que ellos mismos nos cuenten y nos digan en qué nivel están, si lo han logrado, si parcialmente lo han logrado, si ahí lo van logrando, si necesitan un poco más de práctica y refuerzo, y eso a nosotros como profes nos va a facilitar muchísimo y nos va a permitir tomar decisiones informadas para hacer ajustes a nuestras enseñanzas, por supuesto. Quería mostrarles acá también, mis profes, en este momento que estamos reconociendo los materiales que tenemos disponibles para primaria, para la enseñanza del inglés en primaria, cómo luce un objeto de aprendizaje. Como ustedes lo pueden ver, un objeto de aprendizaje, quiero recordarles en este momento, es el material físico tangible que van a tener los estudiantes para desarrollar las actividades. Vamos a encontrar información muy básica sobre el nivel que trata este ejercicio, cuál es el tema, cuál es el enfoque, cuáles son las habilidades que desarrolla principalmente este objeto de aprendizaje. Por lo demás, el objeto de aprendizaje estará lleno de ejercicios y actividades específicamente para que los estudiantes desarrollen. A nivel visual, a nivel estético, vemos que es un material muy hermoso, con un diseño muy favorable que por supuesto va a tener a nuestros niños y niñas muy emocionados a la hora de trabajar con este maravilloso recurso. Finalmente, profes, quería comentarles que tenemos adicional a los objetos de aprendizaje unas planeaciones de clase que también están disponibles en red académica y que ustedes pueden acceder en este momento. Apenas terminemos el webinar, se pueden ir y pueden explorar y descargar, en este caso, 10 planeaciones adicional a los 9 objetos de aprendizaje que tenemos, y esas planeaciones son planeaciones para una hora, una clase de 60 minutos, y en estas planeaciones o lesson plans vamos a encontrar objetivos, indicadores de desempeño, contenidos, posibles problemas y soluciones. Esto es vital para los profes, saber y anticiparnos un poco a lo que puede pasar, a lo que tal vez puede generar algún tipo de dificultad, pero entonces también cómo lo puedo resolver. Y por supuesto, como todo lesson plan, pues contiene cuáles son las etapas de la clase, cuántos minutos me debo demorar en cada etapa y por supuesto la worksheet o la actividad como tal que van a estar desarrollando mis estudiantes. Quiere decir, profes, que estas 10 planeaciones están totalmente alineados con esos 9 objetos de aprendizaje y en total tendríamos entonces para nuestros profes de primaria 19 recursos disponibles para que empecemos a usar y a implementar en nuestras clases. Profes, esta es la información con respecto los recursos y materiales que tenemos para primaria, y en este momento entonces nos movemos a los recursos y materiales que tenemos para la enseñanza del inglés en secundaria, y quiero darle nuevamente la bienvenida a mi compañera Pau. Pau.
Claro que sí, Jairito. Muchas gracias por esta información tan detallada que nos diste. Me encantan estos recursos que nos compartiste, los colores, los enfoques que son muy atractivos tanto para los niños como claramente lo que los docentes acostumbran a hacer en clase. Y creo que valdría hacer una pregunta, Jairito. De pronto muchos profes están allí como cuestionándose estos recursos en qué idioma están, Jairito, en español, en inglés, como para que los profes de primaria conozcan este dato.
Pau, claro que sí, es una pregunta súper importante. Muchas gracias porque seguramente los profes la tienen y tú la estás trasladando. Y queríamos entonces contarles a los profes que la guía de aprendizaje, la guía para el docente, vamos a encontrarla principalmente en español, con información muy detallada, tal cual como les mostramos, donde nos da indicaciones muy precisas sobre cómo se debe hacer la implementación de ese objeto de aprendizaje. Y ya en el objeto de aprendizaje, lo que buscamos es también generar un poco un contexto de inmersión en inglés para que nuestros estudiantes pues asocien vocabulario, desarrollen las actividades y demás usando la lengua inglesa, pero por supuesto con algunos refuerzos, explicaciones en español. Entonces básicamente vamos a encontrar como un balance entre las dos lenguas, Pau, que nos va a permitir por un lado, comprender muy bien, tener comprensión total de lo que se debe hacer, de cuáles son las actividades y demás, pero por otro lado, pues seguir fortaleciendo el desarrollo de esas competencias en inglés.
Claro que sí, Jairito. Bueno, y pues también hay un sistema allí de transliteración, claramente, para facilitarles el proceso de aprendizaje a los estudiantes. Muchas gracias, Jairito. Nos movemos entonces para los recursos de bachillerato. And I'm going to tell you, my dear teachers, that for secondary teachers, we have 8 different learning and teaching guides, okay? How are distributed these learning and teaching guides? Well, as you know, the suggested curriculum is focused on 4 different language levels. We start in A0 or pre-A1, and we finish the learning process to B1 until B1. So the scope of these resources is along these 4 English levels. Additionally, the topics are related with the 4 modules of the suggested curriculum, globalization, environment, health, and most of the learning and teaching guides are connected with those 4 modules. What are we going to discover through these learning and teaching guides? Well, let me tell you that for level A0 or pre-A1, the idea is to encourage the students to discuss about global issues. Global issues like what? First of all, we have plastic-free environment. So we're going to talk about different topics related with the environmental issues that we are facing nowadays and how these students can face this problem, face the real situation, talking about specifically plastic materials and or garbage too, and how are they going to contribute to solve this situation. The second topic is about online safety. What is online safety? Is the way or the do's and don'ts basically that the students have to do related with the resources that they constantly or permanently they are using in their daily lives, about social networks, about the online footprint that they are usually doing through the use of the resources. In level A1, we are going to see that the idea is to foster creative thinking. So the students are going to explore 2 different topics, and these 2 different topics are related to the World Wide Web, and social networking. So through these two topics related with technology, they are going to be challenged and they are going to start providing possible solutions that contribute to solve a specific question or a specific situation that is designed or that is shown in the learning guide. In level A2, we are going to see that the focus is related to listening and speaking in authentic environments. So we have in here a communicative competence, and the students are going to be bloggers, you know, how important today is, or how fashion is today being a YouTuber or a blogger. So they're going to start being part of that work, and they're going to be solving some learning strategies and learning activities related with traveling and blogging. And the other one is related to fake news environments, and you know how much important is make them be aware of these of the importance of understanding the real news and all the information that we can have on internet, but what is fake, what is real, you know. So this is more or less the relationship with this specifically learning guide. And finally, we have at the end in level B1, activating critical thinking. So in here, as you can see, we are like, I can say, having a taxonomy as a cross-curricular process. And at the end, they're going to have how green you are, getting back to the environment, getting back to global issues, and also they're going to talk or learn about mobile phones in text communication. So as you know, my dear teachers, each language level corresponds to a grade, right? If it is middle school or secondary school. So the idea is that you can mix all these resources and explore the ones that corresponds to the grades that you are teaching. As the same as my partner mentioned before, the information and the resources are linked with the suggested curriculum. They all show different activities that are focused on these learning approaches that are related with task-based and project-based learning. And of course, they are guaranteeing the basic rights of basic learning rights. And the idea is that the students can can achieve the different language levels that are mentioned according to each suggested topic, according to each focus of the materials. So this is the way, I'm sorry, my computer got crazy. This is the way a learning guide looks like. And my partner was describing the first part of the learning guide that was related with the structure of how the activities are developed. Now I'm going to focus on the symbols that are part of these resources. So as you can see, we can find 5 different symbols that represent some specific activities or structures to guide the students. As we are in a modern society, we are watching images everywhere, so symbols became important for this context to make them understand better the steps and the following resources that they have to use or the things that they are going to do for each phase that my partner described before. The first one, these pause are related with activity procedure. So this icon basically indicates the description that or the steps that the students are going to be doing during this whole learning object and what is required to do for them in the activity, all right? The second one, that is the clock, it's about the length. So this length indicates the time that is estimated to carry out the activity according to each section that my partner described before. The section of has hands on one, hands on two, like let's the adventure begin, and so on. The icon number 3, it's about the extra activity, and this is like two monsters, and these two monsters represent the didactic suggestions that complement the dynamics and the activities that are contemplated in this learning object. Number 4, it's about, that is like a bulb, it's about tips. So when you can see this icon, not only you as teachers, but also the students, they are going to understand some procedural suggestions to complete or to extend the activities that they are doing or solving at the moment. And finally, the last one is about critical thinking. So when we have in here critical thinking, this symbol represents some questions or statements that the students are going to solve to promote reflection. And of course, there is going to be an evaluation part related to formative assessment strategies and a socialization, or the part of sharing information that the students usually do after developing a certain specific activity. As you can see at the bottom of the image, we have two different charts. The first one is also related with focus. So through these students' learning objectives and teaching guides, we have a focus on grammar, of course, vocabulary and functions that are connected with the basic rights and the suggested curriculum. But the information is not completely explicit as we maybe tend to teach in our classrooms. They are guided through different topics, and the topics were the ones that I mentioned before. Now the skills, all these guides are going to implement or use the 4 different skills, right? But not at the same time. So you will see that some guides are going to be focused on reading and maybe writing, some others in listening and speaking, but this will be depending on the specific topic that you are going to work with your students. So this is the way a learning object looks like. As you can see, it's so colorful. It has very shiny colors. The organization, the learning object presents the objectives of the process and the activity that the students are going to do and are going to achieve at the end of the process. And of course, the specific vocabulary that they are going to learn at the end of the learning object. And on the top of my image, you can see that they are going to see or appreciate the level and the skills and language focus that they are going to use. Finally, in this bunch of a group of resources, we have not only these 8 learning objects and teaching guides, but we have also 12 different lesson plans, 2 for each level from 6th graders to 11th graders. Each lesson plan is designed to be done in 2 hours, all right? So that is the estimated time. However, we know that because of this pandemic situation, the duration of the classes or the length of the classes is not 2 hours long, but we have, you can divide the class or the lesson plan according to your needs, according to your context. So that's very important for you to understand that you can adapt these resources according to what you have in your institutions, in your classroom, and the needs of your students according to their levels. What do we have in these 12 lesson plans? Well, we have different type of contents, different situations and solutions, the class phases that we have mentioned before too, and of course the resources for the students or the worksheets are already designed and they are contemplated also in these 12 lesson plans. So these are, my dear teachers, the group or the bank of resources that we wanted to share with you today for this first part of the webinar. And these resources were related to primary school resources and secondary school resources to reinforce and to strengthen English learning processes. All right? And we want you to join one of the activities that we prepared for you, and it's here in quizzes. And my friend Jairito is going to share with you in the chat the information about quizzes. So I would like you to please join in the chat, click on the link, and we will see who is going to join this activity. What is going to be this activity about? Let me tell you that it's going to be about the information that we just mentioned related to the resources that were explained during this first part of the session. So we have the teacher Amanda. She has been on fire, even in the chat and also here in the quizzes. Thank you, teacher Amanda, for joining us. Let's see who wants to join. Some other teachers. Let's wait a couple of seconds, maybe minutes, for other teachers. Jairito, what do you think about these resources?
Yes, Pau, they are amazing. They are amazing. I have been using them in my classes and they are great. They are full of different activities to foster learning. That is the main objective, and I'm very happy using it. So in this moment, Pau, we're welcoming and inviting everybody to join our quizzes activity. We have some teachers. Remember, teachers, that you have the link here in the chat box. So you only need to click in there and we're going to have fun. I love quizzes, Pau. I'm ready to play.
Good, thank you so much. Yes, Jairito, thank you so much for the teachers. I mean, we have a girl's power here. Teacher Paola, Amanda, Anita, Aida, thank you so much for joining us. Let's see if we have another teacher who wants to join our quizzes activity. And this is going to be so easy. So I'm just going to project the questions for the ones who are not going to join us here directly in the link, but let's start. So maybe in the chat, the other teachers can answer according to what we have in here, while the ones who are participating directly in the link are playing. So we have in here, verdadero o falso. El banco de recursos para los docentes, tanto de primaria como de secundaria, está alineado con el currículo sugerido. Por favor, los profes que no están directamente en el link, pueden decirnos en el chat si es verdadero o es falso. Pregunta número 2, mientras los otros profes terminan allí. teaching and learning through sounds and music es un A, nivel, B, tema sugerido o C, un enfoque. ¿Qué creemos allí, profes? Pregunta número 3. Esta pregunta está relacionada directamente con los iconos que aparecían allí en la información. Voy a tratar de ampliar un poco más la pantalla, a ver si los logramos ver. Y estos iconos están relacionados con el desarrollo del material para los estudiantes. Entonces, te da una secuencia allí, quizás son muy pequeñas las imágenes para compartirles, pero los que pues están jugando directamente ya veremos qué tanta atención pusieron allí. Tenemos otra pregunta. ¿Cuántos objetos de aprendizaje tiene el banco de recursos para primaria? Nos pueden ir compartiendo la información allí en el chat. ¿Y cuántos pues inmediatamente tenemos allí para secundaria? ¿Listo? Y de las siguientes partes del objeto de aprendizaje, ojo ahí mis profesores, ¿cuáles son partes del objeto de aprendizaje? Objectives, evaluation, listening and speaking, hands-on, let's get ready, my learning progress, reading or writing. ¿Y cuáles son las secciones que describen las actividades y práctica del material? Entonces tenemos aquí ya, creo que la mayoría ya van acabando. Vamos a ver, las respuestas todavía están aquí participando, los 6 profes que se unieron allí. Y terminemos entonces nuestro grupito de preguntas con la pregunta número 6. ¿Cuáles son las 6 secciones que describió mi compañero Jairo que describen las actividades y práctica del material? Entonces tenemos allí los nombres, hay unos que sí son, hay otros que no son. Entonces pues vamos a ver qué nos responden allí los profes, de pronto en el chat alguno que pueda tener la información. La pregunta también se hizo para secundaria. ¿Cuántos objetos y guías de aprendizaje hay para secundaria? Esto está muy fácil, Jairo. ¿Tú qué crees?
It's very, very easy, Pau. I think all the teachers know. I don't know.
Yes, we will see. Y finally, last but not least, we have los siguientes son enfoques del banco de recursos de secundaria. So we have system not working, the news environment, my family and friends, how green are you, and what I do in my spare time. And task-based and project-based learning son enfoques de las guías de objetos de aprendizaje, sí o no. Entonces miremos rápidamente cómo les fue a los profes. Tenemos nuestras 5 profes encabezando. La profe Amanda, she was on fire. And I will say thank you so much for participating. And let's see who is in the podium. Congratulations, teacher Amanda. Congratulations, teacher Anita. And third place, teacher Aida. And then we have the answers in here. Thank you so much. Most of you were correct. Some other questions, for example, question number 7 that was related to, oh my gosh, it was related to the number of objects and learning guides that we had in here in the bank of resources. So maybe we have to reinforce the information. Don't forget that we have 8 learning guides and teaching guides for secondary school, and we have 9 learning guides and learning objects for primary school, okay? So thank you so much, Jairito.
Thank you so much, Pau. That was great. Thank you for the quizzes activity, and we learned a lot from you and our presentation about teaching resources. So in this moment, we want to welcome our friends, our great English advisors, Miguel and Jamie. So Miguel and Jamie, welcome back. We are ready to learn from you, my friends.
Thank you so much, Jairo. Thank you, Paula.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you. Thank you for your intervention. Hello, Jamie. How are you? Long time no see.
that's true. That's true.
Hello, teachers, right there after lunch. We hope you're having a great time with this presentation, with this webinar. Well, so for today, we have taken my next step course. So, and this course is related to the materials that Jairo and Paula mentioned, especially when we talk about project-based. And what I would like to mention right here is that, of course, nowadays we live in an ongoing society, so the society changing all the time, so our students as well. So the way we teach should be adapted or should be changed, and that's why we have all of these materials so that we can motivate students to acquire the language in a different way, of course. And besides, everyone and many countries are talking about sustainable goals, technology, critical thinking, environment, leadership, and this course took into account that. Why? Because this course looks for, or basically is grounded on widening students' different opportunities. For example, along their professional path or along their professional or employability or leadership skills. So this course is fantastic. It's a Moodle course, and you will see all the resources you have available on our website. So you must be wondering, okay, but where can I find this course? Where can I find the resources? Because we have lots of resources for you. And of course, what can I find there? So let me show you, Jamie, where we can find this and where our teachers can find this course.
Nice.
So
we're going to take a tour around
a tour. Do you love tours? Yeah.
Okay, take me there.
Yeah, sure. So here we have teachers. You basically go to Google, to your browser, Red Académica, click on Red Académica. And immediately you will see this. You have different options, different tabs. Click on Estrategias. And look at this. You have many resources. So I invite you to look at this carefully. But today, of course, we are going to just focus on these three ones. But of course, you can find many other ones. So click on Plan Distrital de Bilingüismo. And you will find different tabs: docentes, estudiantes, spelling bee, converging grounds, and talleres. So click on docentes. Look at this. So you find banco de recursos para docentes, lo que nos mencionó Paula y Jairo. So look at this, the main characteristics and resources. You can download all of them here. You just see descarga aquí. And of course, if we continue scrolling down, we can see that we have taken my next step. The characteristics and explanation is in Spanish, but if you want to have it in English, of course, we have the option. So here we have module 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you want to have it in English, you just click on taking my next step. Look at this, main characteristics, the structure of the course, the number of hours, and here, teachers, you can find the resources. You can find the teacher's guide. Let me show you that because it's very interesting. The family guide as well. So let's start with the first one, taking my next step. So basically here you will find the scope, you will find the modules, you will find the topics, you will find extra reading, you will find further activities. Look at this. So assessment, look, you find everything about the course, activities, types of activities in the course, prediction, matching, multiple choice. So of course you can use all of them to develop these skills. You know, nowadays the world is changing. The students' needs are different. So why not include this wonderful course? So now let's see the other guide, family guide. If you click on this, you will see the family guide o la guía de familia, crecer en familia. And what I want you to see here, teachers, is this. Look at this. Of course, you have the content in Spanish because this is for families. But I would love you to see this. Look at this. I'm going to scroll down. Look at this. You can find activities, or the family can find activities so that students can develop different skills, so that the students can identify, for example, their intelligences. Howard Gardner, you know, multiple intelligences. When we learn by doing, when we learn by listening to music, and we have different things, because okay, our students are they live with technology every day. They have you know, this generation screenagers. They are screenagers because all the time they're using their cell phones and they swap their screens. So that's why they are called screenagers. Of course, they have that chip. Let's call it like that. They have that knowledge. However, they see different aspects, such as inequality, poverty. We find different problems around our students nowadays, and that's why it's very important that we develop these skills, like 21st century skills, like life skills, like the 4 skills, and yeah. Of course, the pillars of education, right? We have some pillars of education: learning to learn, learning to do, learning to know. And of course, nowadays we're talking about the other pillar, that is learning to behave, or comportarse, because we are living in a different world. Okay, so far, Jamie, I can tell you the teachers can have guía docentes, families can have family guide, of course. ¿Y qué te parece, Jamie, lo que te voy a decir ahora? Este es un bonus. ¿Quieres saberlo o no continuamos?
Of course.
Dejémoslos a los docentes con la idea de que vengan a buscar, que acá hay bastantes cosas que ellos pueden ver. All right, no, but okay, of course, I'm responsible, so I'm going to show you, Jamie. I'm going to show you right there, teachers. So of course, if you want to have access to the platform, you just click on this registration form. You click on this, you fill out your own information. Remember, teachers, to use your institutional email. You can register your students as well here, and immediately after the set team just check everything. If everything is all right, they send you the link and you can access to this course. Look at this, Jamie. I want you to see this. Of course, we have 4 modules: module 1, 2, 3, and 4. Module 1, English for leadership. Module 2, vocational purposes. Module 3, critical thinking. Module 4, critical reading skills. And this is very interesting. And look at this, Jamie. If we click on each module, bueno, nos guarda el contenido. Click on yes, because I want to see the previous one. And look at this. We have different activities here. The students will have access to this. Bueno, esto es un abrebocas. Esto es un abrebocas para ustedes, profes, si ustedes quieren continuar. Look at this. You find more activities, you find videos, you find readings. Les voy a dejar con ese abrebocas para que ustedes mismos conozcan este material, profes. So let's go back, because you know where to find it, what can you find, and of course, let's see. So where can you find it? Red Académica, you know how to do it now. What can you find there? You can find the platform, you can find the teacher's guide, and of course, you can find the family guide. But let's look at this course deeply, and here I would like to know your comments, Jamie, because this is very interesting, and I'm sure the teachers are very, very enthusiastic to hear you.
Of course. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
There's an echo. I don't know if any of the other student advisors can help me here.
Echo? No, it's fine.
Check my. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I hope the echo only happens here. Well, so we're ready. Perfect. Okay, we're ready. Thank you, Miguel, for having us around the tour of this fantastic material. Now that we know where to find it and how is it for the registration, ¿ok? Ya sabemos entonces en este tour que nos compartió el profesor Miguel todos los detalles en dónde encontrarlo, cómo nos vamos a registrar. Recuerden, profes, que tenemos que registrarnos con los enlaces que propone y están montados en red académica, pero utilizando nuestro correo institucional. De lo contrario, no va a poder permitir que tanto que la parte del registro y del formulario, del ingreso para el formulario. Okay, now, will you follow me then to see what is the content about and how was this course thought to be part of the Moodle course, okay? Then, taking my next step, it's for module content that you will find students joining together to this course. Each of the modules contains activities that they will develop in 20 hours. This means that they have personalized exercise. They will have a student-based activity and they will complete an 80-hour program with taking my next step in total. Okay, so this means that we have a lot of things to practice here. Module 1 is focused on leadership and employability. When they click on those activities, Miguel, as you showed us, our students will be taking a look at skills related to creativity, communication, problem solving. So then they will see a different context rather than the academic or English practice. They will be looking at how to apply for a job, filling a form, covering letter, a job application, or an interview. Okay, that's mostly what the content is about. Module 2 works on vocational orientation. In these activities, we'll be having our students to take a look at vocabulary related to customer service, job interviews, something more related to what a job is like and what the working environment is like. Okay, Module 3 addresses on critical thinking and the use of English. So we will have our students practicing vocabulary, but based on the following topics: globalization, sustainability, health, democracy, and peace. You know, those abilities are regarding to everything that has to do with the global citizenship. So we are not getting students ready just for a few tasks in the future, but for whole life skills, okay? And finally, Module 4 targets critical reading. Then here we will have them practice a bunch of activities related to reading text, but they will focus on improving their reading comprehension skills. Let me tell you something important, Miguel, that probably our teachers will consider to do with their students. And this is Module 1 and 2 can be taken separately and in different order. This means that they decide and they choose if they want to start by activities on Module 2 or 1 or a mix as they wish. But Module 3 and 4, they follow an order and they need to be taking one by one after the other, okay? Now, my teachers, they might be wondering what is the language focus and what is the grammar focus about? So let's see. De pronto mis profes se van a preguntar, bueno, y entonces, ¿dónde queda la práctica del inglés? ¿Dónde queda esa parte de language focus, de grammar focus? That is something that taking my next step offers in a different way. Let's see next slide to see what how this program and this was created. Okay. So we can go to the next, Miguel. There we go. Now our teachers might be wondering, so what is the focus and what's the approach of this course? Look at this, teachers. We have taken my next step, thought on the basis of English for specific purposes. We have all the activities content-based and content-driven. They will be having a different activity between the academic purpose, the vocational purpose, and mostly focused on professional contexts or something that is mostly related to working environments. Then, of course, we have reading skills. Yes, of course, we have students practicing listening skills. Yes, we do, but the approach is the language and the content itself. Okay, now let's see why this program is different. It's so different than the others. Okay, so my dear teachers, we have a 4 skills language skill material in the module 1, 2, 3, and 4, but the skills that we will have them practice has and concern a little bit more related to what means creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, communication, in all of those problem solving situations that will comprehend the 21st century skills. And besides that, life skills. Those activities mainly have or get involved get our students involved in communication, interpersonal relations, decision making, problem solving, creative thinking, critical thinking, self-awareness, empathy, assertiveness, and resilience. So that's how this course was designed, and this is why, the reason why it was created differently. Okay, well, bien, yo creo que aquí ya tenemos nuestro bonus y nuestro overview para poder identificar qué hace este curso diferente a todos los otros recursos que ya tenemos. Es justamente que están enfocados en 21st Century Skills y Life Skills. Entonces, nuestros estudiantes van a estar trabajando actividades como la que vamos a mostrar a continuación, pero que van un poquito más allá de únicamente language activities, ¿ok? El contenido y el lenguaje hace que los estudiantes estén trabajando y desarrollando sus habilidades del siglo XXI a través de las actividades y del contenido de inglés. Ok, Miguel, ¿qué te parece esta hora? Vamos a ver un ejercicio entonces de estos.
Excelente, me parece. Excelente, me parece muy bien porque ya hemos visto las principales características, como lo acabaste de mencionar, los aspectos transversales. Bueno, veámoslo en práctica y veámoslo cómo lo podríamos usar con nuestros estudiantes. So, let's have this activity. So, teachers, we are going to show you a short video, just 1 minute video. So, we would like you to decide which skills this man needs to improve. So we have different skills nowadays. We have been talking about 21st century skills, life skills. So think about it when watching this video. So let's see. Okay, Jamie. Sometimes technology is not our best friend, right? And sometimes we have these kind of issues. We struggle with technology. So teachers, right there, I know you're there and you're very happy and very enthusiastic to know the skills. But please, before doing that, please share your comments, share your answers. So which skills does the man need to improve according to this video? So please type in the chat the possible answers. And meanwhile, Jamie, has it happened to you?
Yes, sometimes we struggle so much with applications, Excel platforms, and not especially devices, but we have a lot of difficulties with technology, right? At work.
Yes, that's right.
And
And
has
me,
it
and me,
happened to you, Miguel?
yeah, many times. Sometimes we are giving presentations or we are working using maybe internet, and suddenly everything is is a mess. Let's call it like that. Yeah, but of course we need to develop these skills, and as we mentioned at the beginning of this session, we need to develop these skills because we live in a different century. Okay, so do we have any comments in the chat box so far?
Okay, yes, of course. Aida Arevalo, thank you for your opinion. She says teamwork. That's a skill that this man in the video needs to improve. There are some other views. For instance, another participant said learn to use the proper use of the technology, work team, and those maybe also patience or controlling your emotions.
Yeah, the emotions on nowadays emotions play an important role in our society, and that's why this course is so nice. It's amazing. I love this course. I would love to put into practice this course with my students. And remember, your students can work on this course. You can do it. You can include it in your classes. So let's see some of the answers. Of course, we can find other skills, as you mentioned, for example, teamwork. It's very important nowadays. Leadership. Wait, I'm going to just pause this. So decision making could be resilience or creativity or problem solving, or as you mentioned, teachers, as you mentioned in the chat, teamwork or technology. We have to learn about technology, and as we mentioned, we have to adapt our practices as the society and as time goes. So good. So Jamie, so this is an example, a great example of 21st century skills. So teachers, we have two different columns here. We have 7 different problems and we have 7 different solutions. So for example, we have blaming others for a problem or discourage employees, or could be discourage students and motivated students, negative comments, team's mistakes, or lack of respect. Well, we have many. These are just some examples, and of course we have the possible solutions. So teachers, we are going to share the link so that you match. What's the idea? That you match problems with solutions. That's the idea. For example, if I thought about blaming others for a problem, a possible solution for that would be, in my case, let's see, blaming others for a problem. Be accountable could be responsible about our decisions, about the situation could be. So teachers, in the link, Jamie is going to send you the link. Try to match solutions and problems.
Yes, that's right. Okay, the link is already shared in the chat, and in it you will find a website with an activity in WordWall. We will see in a few minutes. So let's think about which is the possible match between those common problems or struggles that people have. So Miguel, let's show our teachers how to participate in WordWall.
Yeah, Wordle is a fantastic website because teachers, you can use it in your classes, you have different games. So here was the idea, teachers, to type your name and type the name of your school and click on start. You click on start and immediately click on start again. Immediately you will see the problems on the left side and the possible solutions on the right side. So try to do it, teachers. If you can't do it, maybe because any reason, try to do it just in the chat. In the chat is okay, in the chat box. So meanwhile, I'm going to try to do it. Let's do it, Jamie. Meanwhile, the teachers.
Okay, we have to match
sure.
the statement with the button, right?
Yes,
okay.
We have to match.
I will go for too many tasks.
Too many tasks, okay.
When I have too many tasks to do, I almost have to hire a secretary, but in this case, I think we'll be having delegate to others.
Yeah, that's right. For example, as teachers, sometimes we have many things. So why not to name or appoint a student as a monitor? That's a good thing, no? So delegate to others is a nice one. I will go to, negative comments. I love negative comments. So negative comments, when I usually hear negative comments, I try to think positive, radiate a positive attitude, maybe tell the person positive words, so negative comments. Do we have something in the chat so far?
So far, there's nothing because I think all the teachers are having and taking the time on the website.
Okay, so let's continue. Team's mistakes, maybe be accountable, be responsible, discourage employees or discourage students. Sometimes we are very serious, so maybe be an approachable leader or be an approachable teacher. Not being sure about a decision, maybe if we have enough evidence, we will have the solution, we will have the answer. Blaming others for a problem, maybe focus on solving the problem and not just blaming others. And lack of respect, maybe set an example. Do we have any answers yet? No.
Okay, no, maybe it's time for checking the exercise.
Yeah.
Oh, you got them all right.
We have it. Remember, teamwork. So yeah, of course, we have these, and let's see the teachers. Wait, mis resultados. Look at these teachers. You can find your results. The results are here. Let's see. So look at that. Tun, 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 tun. We have Delia Zapata. We have this activity, La Merced, Wilson Alejandro, David, la profe Kelly. Un saludo para todos ustedes. Thank you very much. You can use this link later. So good. Let's continue.
Sure. Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah. So just remember the solutions. Let's continue with the next one. So remember, teachers, we have 21st century skills, and this is the next one in charge of Jamie, 4 skills.
Okay, the 4 skills, it's another type of activity that we have. And look at this. Let's take a deeper look into a case, a difficulty or a problem. It reads, Diego is with his classmates organizing a presentation for a class. During the meeting, Diego points out the mistakes of his classmates several times. and insist that such mistakes are terrible and that they should not happen. Do you agree with Diego's attitude, teachers? Why? Which of the following options do you think is the most accurate concerning your opinion to Diego's and towards Diego's reaction? Okay, so generally these activities they have the purpose of getting our students to think about a problem, to take or consider how will be our attitude towards the problem. Okay, what's the idea? Okay, so we are going to read option A, B, and C and provide one of your opinions either in the chat or in another app. Wait a second. Hold on, let me read option A. Diego should send an email to his classmates saying how tired he is, that they make the same mistake, and send a copy to other classmates and his teacher. Option B. Diego should evaluate the mistakes with his classmates to find the causes and agree on realistic solutions and deadlines to correct them. Option C. Diego should analyze the variables that affect the team's performance before reaching conclusions. Now I think we're ready to. Let's read. Ok, profes, vamos a participar entonces. En este caso que tenemos acá, podemos participar en el chat con su opción. ¿Cuál de estas opciones creeríamos que sería la más acertada, no? Option A, B, and C, but it's not all. Okay, in the following link, you can have your vote thinking about that problem. So it's pretty easy to use. So join us in this exercise.
Good, difficult options. Sometimes
What do you think?
Well, in my case, well, I don't like A, and that sometimes that happens in our workplaces. So I don't know, I'm sure maybe option B, maybe option C. Let's see what the teachers think, because okay, we live in a different world. Everyone is different, everyone thinks different. So let's see the options. So I'm going to show the app Menti. So look at this, Jamie. Teachers just need to select the answer they think is correct. So in my case, I will go for B. Let's see. I'm not sure.
So all we have to do is to choose one and click on submit, teachers.
Okay, yes. And let's see the results. Okay, look at this. So far we have some results, and so everyone is going B for B. 6 teachers said 6. Yes. Let's see. Or maybe in the chat, teachers, if you can't do it right now in Menti, don't worry, in the chat is fine.
Yes, thank you. One of our participants says that I consider that option C is the most accurate for Diego.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher, for this view. Okay. Well, generally here we will have our students to think about, to confront their views, and to have a different perspective analyzing each one of the options. At this moment, we don't really care about which one is the correct or incorrect one, but to explore the capacity for students to go over critical thinking, to go over problem solving, social skills, and interpersonal skills, okay? That's what we have our students to be done here. Okay, Miguel, so let's see and explore our last but not the least activity we shared for today.
Yes,
as a quick example.
Okay. And this is related to life skills, usually social skills, interpersonal skills, and of course it could be related when talking about education, when talking about our schools, or when we think of the workplace. So in this case we have a question, Jamie. What should we say when we're late? So what should we say when we're late? We have different options. We have thanks for waiting, thank you for coming, good to see you, you're welcome, or okay, let's start immediately. What do you think?
Vamos a ver qué piensan nuestros profes entonces en un entorno académico o de trabajo. What should we say when we are late? Okay, I don't know, Miguel. Sometimes we are so nervous, we go and rush into the traffic jams and we really don't know what to say. We find ourselves in the middle of well, maybe we just want to apologize, right?
And that's the idea of this course. You know, thought-provoking questions, thought-provoking activities so that the students and the teacher can discuss, can go further. So good, fantastic. So what about you? What would you say?
Okay, before we hear or we read some opinions about our participants, I think I will say, well, first I will say sorry. That's the most common that I will say. Thanks for waiting, maybe. Ok, profes, los invitamos. En ese caso, ¿ustedes qué harían? ¿Qué sería lo más común que deberíamos expresar cuando llegamos tarde a una reunión, cuando llegamos tarde a una clase, un evento académico? Usualmente, ¿qué podríamos estar dando como nuestra respuesta a la persona que nos espera, ¿no? Ok. I will go for definitely the best option. Janet says, okay, there is a late coming from the previous exercise, but it's okay. I will go for thanks for waiting.
Okay, yeah, me too, probably me too. Mientras tanto, mientras que tenemos algunas respuestas, Jamie, déjame decirte que, bueno, este es un curso, 4 módulos, está centrado en ciertas habilidades para la vida, habilidades para the 21st Century Skills, pero también centrados en las 4 habilidades del idioma. Reading, listening, speaking, writing, ¿cierto? Y adicionalmente está centrado en contenido, es decir, los estudiantes van a adquirir el lenguaje a través del contenido, a través de estos temas sobre liderazgo, sobre empleo, sobre, bueno, sobre muchos, realmente sobre bastantes temas que van a poder permitir ir un poco más allá y adquirir el lenguaje. Además de que tenemos un curso en Moodle con actividades, con juegos, con lecturas, tenemos 2 guías. Bueno, tenemos bastante, Jamie. Yo creo que es hora de que los profes vayan a la página, se inscriban a sus estudiantes y por supuesto puedan usar este curso.
Claro que sí, Miguel. Entonces, recuerden que a través de Red Académica vamos a poder encontrar todos los materiales y los recursos para poder diligenciar un formulario de inscripción con nuestros estudiantes. Primero tenemos que, pues por supuesto, saber qué información vamos a recolectar para poder inscribir a nuestros estudiantes usando el correo institucional. I think that's the most important. Now, let's welcome our next English advisors in charge of Module 3. I am so pleased to introduce David Ariza, who is going to be talking to you about Cartilla Know Now. And thanks for participating with these exercises. Let's go on, David.
Hello everyone, hello and welcome to module number 3. This module is all about the Know Now booklet. So now I'm going to share my presentation. Thank you very much, Miguel and Jamie, for your content. Let's continue with this party. So this module is going to be divided into 2 sections according to languages. The first section is going to be held in Spanish and the second section is going to be in English. So, Cartilla Know Now. Esta es una cartilla que fue desarrollada en 2019 por el British Council y la Secretaría de Educación de Bogotá, cuyo objetivo es reforzar las habilidades de los estudiantes de modo que estos se puedan preparar para la presentación de la prueba saber. Estas cartillas fueron entregadas de forma física en la mayoría de las instituciones, Por lo cual, mi primera recomendación es que averigüen en sus instituciones, ya que es muy probable que ustedes tengan esta cartilla en las bibliotecas, ya que muchos docentes decidieron usarlas, pero no se las entregaron directamente a los estudiantes. Sin embargo, si las cartillas no se encuentran de forma física en las instituciones, eso no es ningún problema, ya que nosotros podemos descargar esta cartilla en cualquier momento. ¿Esto dónde se va a hacer? Se va a hacer por medio del portal de Red Académica. En este momento en la pantalla ustedes pueden ver un código QR. Si tienen un smartphone, en este momento pueden usar la cámara para escanear dicho código QR. Si lo hacen, esto los va a llevar al website de la Red Académica, donde van a poder encontrar toda la información de la cartilla Know Now y el link para que la puedan descargar. Sin embargo, si no tienen acceso al código QR, no lo pueden escanear, yo les muestro rápidamente cómo se puede encontrar dicha cartilla. Simplemente vamos acá a su buscador de preferencia, vamos a buscar Red Académica. Una vez estemos en Red Académica, en el buscador vamos a escribir Know Now. Y va a ser el primer link que nos aparece. Le vamos a dar clic. E inmediatamente aquí tenemos el website con la información de la cartilla y con los links para poder descargarla. En este caso el link del PDF de la cartilla va a ser el primero de acá. Cartilla Know Now, Achieving Skills, Preparing for Life. Bueno, y ahora que ya sabemos dónde encontrar la cartilla, vamos a ver de qué se trata ese instrumento, qué podemos encontrar en él. Bueno, lo primero es que tenemos que ver las diferencias entre la cartilla Know Now, como está dispuesta, y la prueba saber. En el momento en que la cartilla Know Now fue diseñada, se trató de acoplar con la prueba saber del momento, que fue el 2019. En ese momento, la prueba saber contaba con 7 partes, 45 preguntas y una duración de 60 minutos. Sin embargo, la prueba saber tuvo un cambio y desde el año pasado, a pesar de que tiene 7 partes nuevamente y dura 60 minutos, en este caso tiene 55 preguntas, lo que quiere decir que tenemos 10 preguntas extra. Ahora bien, aquí surge la pregunta, ¿dónde se encuentran esas 10 preguntas extra? Esta información la maneja directamente ICFES y varía de año en año, por lo cual es difícil que nosotros podamos decirles en este momento cómo están distribuidas dichas 10 preguntas. A continuación, un poco más adelante, les vamos a mostrar cómo estuvieron distribuidas el año pasado, es decir, en 2020. Pero nosotros no podemos asegurarles que va a ser así de todos los años. Es probable que así sea, pero también puede variar. Esta es una decisión que queda totalmente en las manos de ICFES y pues se comunicarán, pero solo al momento de presentar la prueba unos días antes, no con mucha antelación. Otra diferencia muy rescatable de la cartilla Know Now con la prueba saber es que la cartilla Know Now tiene las partes 1 y 2 de forma que son parte 1, uso interactivo del inglés, y parte 2, uso lexical del inglés. Sin embargo, la prueba saber, como está con los cambios que tuvo el año pasado, estas dos partes se intercambiaron. Y ahora la parte 1 es el uso del léxico del inglés y la parte número 2 es el uso interactivo del inglés. Pero entonces acá puede surgir nuevamente otra pregunta. Entonces, ¿es válida la cartilla Know Now? ¿Vale la pena que yo use ese instrumento para los estudiantes para que ellos puedan reforzar sus habilidades? La respuesta es un rotundo sí. A pesar de que hay 10 preguntas menos, esta diferencia solo va a ser percibida en las pruebas diagnósticas, que ya les vamos a hablar más adelante de esas pruebas diagnósticas. Pero la cartilla también tiene 7 trainings, que ya vamos a ver también a detalle. Esos 7 trainings siguen siendo igual de válidos, ya que el contenido y los tips que se muestran allí ayudan a los estudiantes para que tengan un mejor resultado al momento de presentar la prueba. Entonces, esta es la forma en que está compuesta la cartilla. Primero tenemos una prueba diagnóstica inicial. Esta prueba diagnóstica simula la prueba saber. Va a tener las 7 partes, va a durar 60 minutos, pero como les comentamos, pues en este caso tiene 45 preguntas. Lo mismo va a ocurrir para la prueba diagnóstica final. Es una simulación también de la prueba saber con sus 7 partes, 60 minutos, pero con 45 preguntas. Ya que el número de preguntas no se ajusta como está dada en la cartilla, nosotros diseñamos unas pruebas diagnósticas que van a ser subidas a Red Académica. Esas pruebas diagnósticas que nosotros actualizamos van a estar con sus respectivas 55 preguntas. Entonces, nuevamente, ustedes se dirigen al portal de Red Académica y más adelante van a encontrar esas pruebas diagnósticas en formato PDF para que las puedan descargar y las puedan aplicar con sus estudiantes. Adicionalmente, en la cartilla tenemos los entrenamientos de la parte 1 a la parte 7. Y dentro de cada uno de esos 7 trainings vamos a encontrar 8 características. Primero, ¿qué es lo que evalúa la sección? ¿Cuál es el objetivo de esa parte específica de la prueba saber? Número 2, estrategias para responder ese tipo de pregunta, ya sea una pregunta de carácter lexical, comunicativo, gramatical o de comprensión lectora. También en la parte número 3 nos van a dar consejos sobre el uso del tiempo. Recordemos que para la prueba tenemos 60 minutos, entonces cada training nos va a decir en promedio cuánto deberíamos demorarnos para cada una de esas 7 partes. En el punto número 4 vamos a ver un ejemplo de cómo lo usa esta parte y cómo se debería responder. En la parte número 5 vamos a encontrar tips, que son simplemente consejos, pequeñas ayudas que nos van a ayudar a encontrar estrategias para responder mejor esa pregunta, esa parte. En el punto 6 tenemos refuerce la estrategia. Entonces estas son unas preguntas que buscan ahondar más en el contenido de cada una de esas 7 partes. En el punto 7 ya tenemos el pruebe sus habilidades, que es una sección práctica. Entonces, los estudiantes van a tener la oportunidad de para cada una de las 7 partes encontrar un cuestionario, a veces con lectura o no, dependiendo de la parte, donde van a poder poner en práctica los tips y los consejos que se les dio anteriormente. Y finalmente en el punto número 8, una reflexión final para que podamos ver si el entrenamiento surtió efecto y nos ayuda efectivamente a reforzar la parte. Finalmente, después de la prueba diagnóstica, vamos a encontrar el pare, revise, corrija y siga, que nos ayuda a mejorar a establecer un plan de mejoramiento, un curso de acción para que podamos seguir reforzando todo el examen, cada una de las 7 partes. Y pues aquí tenemos las partes de la prueba tal y como están contenidas en la prueba saber al día de hoy. ¿Listo? Entonces aquí ya no está como está en la cartilla. Esto es lo que yo les mencionaba. Ese es un ejemplo de cómo se desarrolló la prueba saber el año pasado. Entonces, mientras que en la cartilla la parte 1 es uso interactivo del inglés, aquí podemos ver que en la prueba saber la parte 1 es conocimiento lexical. Para el conocimiento lexical, el estudiante debe relacionar una palabra con su descripción, que son los letreros, las señales que encontramos alrededor de una ciudad. Como aparece en la cartilla, esta parte tiene 5 preguntas. Sin embargo, el año pasado nos dimos cuenta que son 6 preguntas. Y va a tener una duración en promedio ideal de 5 minutos. Para la parte 2 tenemos el uso interactivo del inglés. Tenemos 6 preguntas, 5 minutos. Y pues acá básicamente ustedes van a poder ver el nombre de cada una de las 7 partes. De la parte 3 a la parte 7 son exactamente el mismo orden como está dispuesto en la cartilla Now. ¿Qué conocimiento debe tener el estudiante para cada una de esas 7 partes? Y el número de preguntas que se usó el año pasado. Entonces tenemos 6, 6, 6, 10 que antes era 8, 9 que antes era 8, 6 que antes era 5 y 12 que antes era 10. Entonces aquí podemos darles el ejemplo de cómo están distribuidas, o bueno, cómo fueron distribuidas esas 10 preguntas extra el año pasado. Y sin embargo, recalcar que el uso del tiempo se mantuvo. Eso van a ser los 60 minutos. La cartilla está diseñada de tal forma que las primeras partes van a evaluar un nivel A-, A1 y A2. Y las últimas partes van a evaluar un nivel B1 a B+. Entonces, por eso es que siempre los estudiantes van a encontrar con que las primeras partes son muy fáciles, pero la dificultad va aumentando conforme ellos van avanzando en la prueba. Okay, so now it's time to switch into English. For this, we are going to have our first activity. My partner, Jamie, is going to share with you in the chat a link. If you click on this link, you are going to be led to Padlet. Padlet is a website where you can share your comments through a board. This time, if you click on the link, you are going to find this question. Out of the 7 parts of the test, which one do you think is the most difficult to answer for your students? So teachers, this is the activity. If you can, click on the link, go to Padlet, and then answer this question. Let us see your answers and share them with everyone. So, Jamie, is the link already in the chat?
Yes, David, the link is already in the chat. It says join us in this Padlet.
Excellent, thank you very much. So, while the teachers answer this question, let me ask you, in your opinion, Jamie, which one do you think is the most difficult part of the test for the students? What do you think?
Yeah, for the students, okay. Definitely those with advanced skills like the reading comprehension skills.
Yes, I think so as well. So that would mean that parts 5, 6, and 7, right? So out of those three, 5, 6, and 7, which one do you think is the most difficult?
Okay, I also will say that matching when they have to see the category of the word and try to match with the meaning.
All right, so that will be part 7 that involves not only reading skills but also grammar skills. In my opinion, I think it's part number 6, that is inferential reading, and I say this because they only have 6 questions, so there is little opportunity for them to do pinochazo, to have a lucky guess and get extra points. So in my opinion, this one is the most difficult, but let's see what do our teachers think. So I'm going to go to Padlet, and here we have the first question. So what is the most difficult part of Prueba Saber for students? And we can see that most of the teachers agree that these are parts 6 and 7, all the parts that include reading comprehension, 6 and 7, 6 and 7. So it is pretty clear for all of us that indeed the most difficult sections of Prueba Saber are parts 6 and 7. And I think that's the case because they involve reading comprehension skills and also because the vocabulary is more advanced. Remember, this is a vocabulary for B1 or B+ level. Thank you very much for your participation, teachers. All right, so that's the way the booklet was created and the content of it. However, we're going to talk a little bit about formative assessment, evaluación formativa, la cual se contrasta con la evaluación sumativa. La evaluación sumativa es la que nosotros conocemos ya muy bien porque es como la que se ha usado de una forma muy prolongada, que es una evaluación donde nosotros le damos un contenido al estudiante y al final de dicho contenido aplicamos esta evaluación para determinar si el estudiante aprendió o no, con una calificación de un valor numérico o de una letra. Sin embargo, la evaluación formativa es un poco diferente y nosotros vamos acá a verla dentro de estos 5 puntos. El primer punto de la evaluación formativa o formative assessment es identificar las áreas de necesidad. Esto se hace por medio de una prueba diagnóstica. Y a pesar de que en la cartilla no nosotros lo hemos visto con la prueba Saber, las 7 partes, la evaluación formativa se puede aplicar a cualquier tema, no solo a temas de inglés, de exámenes de inglés estandarizados. Por ejemplo, los tiempos verbales. Si yo quiero ayudar a los estudiantes para que ellos mejoren sus habilidades en los tiempos verbales, gramaticales, perdón, entonces yo lo que haría es hacer una prueba diagnóstica donde les haría una pregunta en cada uno de esos tiempos gramaticales. Entonces, una pregunta en presente simple, una pregunta en pasado simple, en presente continuo, pasado continuo, etcétera. De modo que yo pueda identificar de todas esas preguntas cuáles son incorrectas y así poder ver en cuál de esos tiempos ellos tienen dificultades. Yo les pongo este ejemplo con los tiempos gramaticales para que se den cuenta que se puede aplicar en cualquier tema, pero ustedes también lo pueden hacer con vocabulario, con temas de fonética, de pronunciación, listening skills, con cualquier tipo de conocimiento se puede utilizar la evaluación formativa. Una vez que yo haga esa prueba diagnóstica e identifique los tiempos gramaticales en los que ellos tienen más dificultad, yo voy a aplicar el punto número 2, que es trazar un plan de acción. Esto consiste en elegir unas actividades específicas que busquen reforzar esas áreas de necesidad. Entonces, en el ejemplo que les estoy dando, si yo veo que mis estudiantes están teniendo problemas con el presente perfecto, entonces voy a buscar actividades que les ayude, por ejemplo, a aprenderse los verbos en participio y que les ayude a utilizar de forma correcta el verbo auxiliar have, has. De esta forma, ellos van a poder reforzar su conocimiento del presente perfecto. La evaluación formativa también tiene una característica muy particular que se puede ver acá en el punto número 3, que es ajustar los materiales a la necesidad de los estudiantes. Normalmente nosotros nuestras clases las manejamos como un grupo homogéneo y eso lo podemos ver también con la prueba diagnóstica. Sin embargo, la evaluación formativa también nos permite identificar las necesidades individuales de cada uno de los estudiantes. Entonces, si por ejemplo para mí, para David, yo tengo dificultades en el presente perfecto, de pronto Jamie no. Jamie tiene un muy buen conocimiento del presente perfecto, pero se le dificulta la voz pasiva. La evaluación formativa me permite identificar eso por medio de las pruebas diagnósticas y yo como docente puedo elegir actividades específicas para que David mejore en el presente perfecto y para que Jamie mejore en la voz pasiva. Y de este modo todos los estudiantes se pueden ver beneficiados, ya que se personaliza el contenido con base en las necesidades de cada uno. Mientras nosotros estamos ejecutando el plan de acción, podemos aplicar el punto número 4, que es hacer seguimiento del mejoramiento. Esto se hace por medio de una evaluación muy puntual en la mitad del plan, donde vamos a solo revisar las áreas de necesidad. Entonces, en este caso ya no haríamos una prueba diagnóstica de todos los tiempos gramaticales, sino solo, en mi caso, del presente perfecto y en el caso de Jamie, solo la voz pasiva. De este modo vamos a poder ver si hay un mejoramiento o no. En caso de que haya mejoramiento, vamos a continuar con la estrategia. En caso de que no, vamos a reevaluar las actividades que elegimos y vamos a ajustarlas para que el estudiante pueda seguir con su mejoramiento. Y finalmente llegamos al punto número 5, que es comparar los resultados del antes y después de la implementación. Eso se hace por medio de una prueba diagnóstica final. Es muy importante que la prueba diagnóstica final siga el mismo formato que la prueba diagnóstica inicial. Si la prueba diagnóstica inicial yo evalué todos los tiempos gramaticales, en la prueba diagnóstica final también los voy a evaluar todos. De este modo se puede hacer una comparación completa de cada uno y vamos a poder ver si efectivamente hubo un mejoramiento o no en las áreas de necesidad. Here at the British Council and Secretary of Education, we designed for you an instrument that can help you do this, and that is the action plan. Let me show it to you. The action plan is an Excel file that has 3 different tabs: action plan, tests, and resources bank. We're going to see them one by one. First, we're going to see the tests tab. If you click on this tab, you're going to find this chart. For each column, we have a different value: ID number, last names, gender, and the 7 parts of the diagnostic test. I'm going to give you a practical example. I'm going to fill up this chart with one student. In that case, that will be me. So I'm going to just set here a random number. Then for my last name, that will be Arisa, and my name David. My gender, that will be M, that is masculine. And now I'm going to set here the values for each one of the 7 parts. As you can see, in each one of the columns, you are going to find the name of the part and also a number between parentheses. This number is the highest possible score for each one of the 7 parts. So for part number 1, it will mean that I have an opportunity to get from 0 up to 6 points or 6 correct questions. For example, if I try to type 8, the file will not allow me to do that because it's not a valid value. All right. And also if I put a number below 0. So, and for this practical example, I'm going to give a random results. So let's say I got here 4, 2, 5, 4, 8, 1, and then here 5. As you can see, we have 3 different colors. Each color has a meaning. If I get a green color, that means I am very good at this section. Therefore, I do not require to practice it more than usual because I already have a good level. If I see a yellow color, in this case it means that I have some knowledge on this section. However, I need to practice more to get better. And if I see a red color, it means that this is an area of urgency. It means I am very weak at this section and I urgently need to practice and to improve at this part so to get a better result. If, for example, here I say 6, the color will change automatically. As you can see, this is done all by itself. You don't have to put the colors. And on the right, you are going to find 3 columns. The column on the left is Saber 11 total score over 100 points. So Prueba Saber has a score from 0 to up to 100 points. In this practical exercise, based on these results, I got 60 points. The column on the middle is going to give me the language level according to the CEFR margin, that is the Common European Framework of Reference. 60 points means I have an A2 level. And the column on the right is going to show me the ideal level that I can achieve if I put in practice the activities from the action plan. So if I practice and improve the areas of urgency that I got, ideally I can achieve a level of B1 by the end of the implementation plan. The idea is that you can start implementing this from the very beginning so you can have a lot of time to do different activities to improve each one of the areas of urgency. So this is the tests tab. Now we're going to go to the action plan tab. When I go here, I have the implementation plan. But here we have the 7 parts of the test and also the percentages for each one of them. So sorry, I forgot something. Let me go back here. Here I find the individual results for each one of the students. However, if I go below here, I'm going to find the average of the group. And this is given with percentages. Because there is only one student, it only displays my results, my personal results. But if I have up to 50 students, this is going to give me the average score for the entire group. The way this works is the percentages. So the closest the percentage is to 100 is the better. And the closest it is to 0 means that this is an area of urgency. And below here we have 7 spaces to set a ranking from 1 to 7, where number 1 means the highest priority and number 7 means the lowest priority. So based on these percentages, I can say that my highest priority will be part 6, followed by part 4, part 7, then part 1, then part 5, 6, and 7. Okay, good. Now, when I go back to the action plan, now here I find the percentages, the ranking that I just set, and the language level of the group. Now, below, I find the implementation plan. Here, first, this is going to ask me what language skill must be reinforced. Because my highest area of urgency is comprensión de lectura inferencial, I can easily say that here I need to reinforce the reading skills. Here we have a section where we can choose out of the 7 parts of the test, which ones do you want to reinforce. You can choose up to 4, but you can choose only 1 or only 2 if you want. In this case, I say that my highest areas of urgency are part 1 and part 4. Therefore, sorry, here I select part 6 and part 4. Oh, sorry, 6, 4. And now here we have a set of activities that are designed to reinforce each one of the 7 parts of the test. 3 of them are equal for all of the 7 parts. Those are the webinar strategies. These are the webinar sessions that we carried out during the month of August and September. Then we have the use of the Know Now booklet, and we have here the pages. This is the booklet that you can download at Red Academica at any moment. And number 4 is use of the Bid&One Challenge app. This is an app that some of you mentioned at the beginning of the session. This app was designed by the British Council and the Ministry of Education during 2020 to help students reinforce the 7 parts of Prueba Saber through a game, so using gamification processes. And then we have a unique activity for each one of the 7 parts. Because my area of urgency is part 6, I go there and I find the webinar, the booklet, the app, and then this activity. Playing inference games using hints to solve problems and justify the answer, a crime, a mystery, riddle, etc. If you want to know more about this activity, all you have to do is click on this link. If you do, you are going to be led to a website where you can find all the information about this activity, the lesson plan, the material, the amount of time that is required to be performed, everything that you need. All the activities that you find in the action plan are already designed and ready to be used. So you don't need to prepare anything. Just click on it and then you are good to go. If you like these activities, you can select here yes or no. Yes would mean that you want to do this activity, and no means that you don't want to. Do not feel compelled to choose any of the activities. This is according to your experience and your expectations. For example, if you look at this activity and you really don't like it, don't worry, just say no, and there will be no problem. And there is no problem because we have more activities. That's where Resources Bank tab comes to play. So this is the tab number 3. We click on it, and what do we find here? Here we find, again, the 7 parts of Prueba Saber, and then 5 different types of activities. Activity number 1 is actividad sincrónica. So this is an activity that can be done remotely or virtually. Actividades en el aula are conventional activities that can be done in a classroom. Formative assessment is evaluación formativa. So how can I apply formative assessment for each one of the 7 sections of the test? Then we have lectura complementaria. These are academic papers for us, the teachers, not for the students, where we can find more information, academic information, on how can we better teach each one of the 7 parts of the test. And finally, we have recursos externos, apps, websites, and software. This is a set of different links, online games, or application for mobile phones that students can download so they can reinforce each one of the 7 parts of the test. Again, because my highest priority is part 6, I just go here, click on part 6, and then, for example, I go to actividades en el aula. If I do this, I'm going to find all these activities that are already prepared, designed, and ready to be used to reinforce the part 6. For each one of the activities, I'm going to find the name, the language level, the description of the activity, and the material. So again, all you have to do is click on this link, each one of the links, and you are going to be taken to the correct website where you can find all the materials and information that you need to do this activity. When we finish the implementation plan, we can then do the final diagnostic test. Once we do, we are going to set the results here on the right. Again, we have the 7 parts of the test, and we just set the number of points that they got. So here I'm going to pretend that I improved in each one of the sections except by 1. Okay, for instance, here 6 and here 10. Okay. So again, on the right, I get the total points and the language level. Sorry, I think I forgot one. Give me a moment. 21, and that means that I have a B1 level. When I go back to the action plan and I scroll a little bit longer, here I find the comparison of the initial diagnostic test and the final diagnostic test. And also this Excel file is going to tell me if there was an improvement or not. If there was, it's going to say yes. If it is the same or it got worse, it's going to tell me no. And here on the right, you find a space where you can write your reflection on each one of the 7 parts. So, did the students improve? Yes or not, and why? So you can say here that, for example, students improve in part 1 because they attended the webinar sessions and that was really helpful for them, for example. This is up to you. There is no, you can even leave this blank if you want, but it's a good exercise so you can do a reflection on the strategy. About this format, where can I find this format? Again, this format is going to be uploaded to Red Academica. So again, following the instructions that I gave you, go to Google, then Red Academica, and then now, you are going to find the booklet, and soon you are going to find the initial diagnostic test, the final diagnostic test, and the action plan so you can download it. This doesn't have any sort of password, so once you download it, it's ready to be used. All right. However, if you have any questions regarding something that I just said about the implementation plan or the content of the booklet, please let us know in the chat box and we will answer them the best we can. All right, so that's the action plan. And now we are going to have a practical activity for you, for the teachers. We're going to practice part 6, that is inferential reading. And this activity is named Let's Analyze the Poem. Here we have a poem that is composed by 4 strophes, and we have 2 questions. Again, my partner Jamie is going to share with you in the chat a link to Padlet. This is a different Padlet. If you click on it, you are going to be taken to a website where you find 2 columns. The column on the right is regarding the first question. What's the poem talking about? And the question on the right is question number 2. What's the author's intention in the 3rd strophe? So, if you can, please click on the link and read the poem and please answer these questions. All you have to do is tell us the letter of the correct answer. So for question number 1, A, B, or C, and for question number 2, A, B, or C, right? So Jay, is the link already in the chat box?
Yes, indeed, David. Teachers can already take a look at the chat, copy the link, open the website, and share our thoughts.
Excellent. So we're going to give you a couple of minutes so you can answer this question. And while you do, Jamie, I have a question for you. Do you like poetry? Do you like poems?
Yes, of course. Yeah, sometimes I take a short time to read from time to time. There are some lovely poems by Emily Dickinson. I love them.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm going to be super honest with you. I don't understand poems. I have tried reading them, but I don't get them. I guess I don't have this artistic vein. So yeah, I prefer just literature, like regular one. But yeah, when it comes to poetry, I'm not that good. I didn't know you liked it.
Yes, sometimes, yeah, sometimes you're right. It's hard to really notice what the intention of the author is or what they are talking about exactly. But some strophes and a few lines are really nice to read.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, so we're going to see the answers of our teachers on Padlet. Here I have them. And what can we see? So for question number 1, most teachers agree that the correct answer is letter C. And for the question number 2, all of them say that the correct answer is letter B. So let's check it. What's the poem talking about? So teachers said a person who passed away, and that is totally correct. This poem is about the pain or the grief that a person is feeling because someone or something that was beloved to them already departed, so it's already not living. So correct, a person who passed away. And question number 2, what's the author's intention in the 3rd strophe? So the 3rd strophe reads, and my heart does not beat, it is still inside my chest. My tears keep on falling and my head will not rest. So, to show the suffering of a person dying, maybe not, because in this poem, this is not the person who is dying. This is the person who feels the pain because another person died. Then, to show a person's grief, so most teachers said, most, no, all of them said letter B, and that is totally correct. This is the pain that the person is feeling because the other one is not longer with them. And then we have a cardiac disease. Well, yes, here we talk about the heart, but this is not related to biology, so we can totally discard it. So, very nice job, teachers. You got the right answers. Congratulations. And finally, before we leave, we're going to talk about a little bit about the Know Now app. Maybe in 2019, you got the chance to work with this app. This app was actually the pioneer of this format, so it was the very first app that we developed for this purpose. And because of that, it had many issues. Students could not download it, the registration was not working, the synchronization of the progress was not working as well, and the dashboard had some issues. We learned from our mistakes, and now we are going to recreate the app. So we are developing a brand new app from zero. This app will provide students and teachers with a better experience when it comes to practicing the 7 parts of Prueba Saber. And this app is going to be available for Google and Apple services and also for computers through the use of an emulator. So pay attention to the news and to Red Academica because soon we are going to give you more information about this app. But we can tell you that it is an amazing app that is going to give you a very nice experience with your students. And that's it. Thank you very much. That's the end of module number 3. So now I think we have some more information, right, Jairo?
Yes, David, thank you very much. It was a great presentation. We learned a lot from No booklet. Thank you very much, Jamie, also for your cooperation. So we want to tell everybody, to remind everybody that all these resources are found at Red Academica. So don't forget that you can go to redacademica.edu.co and then you're going to find the 3 resources, the 3 different materials we talked about today. Number 1, recursos para docentes de primaria y secundaria. Number 2, taking my next step. And number 3, cartilla Know Now. Okay, so remember everybody that talking about teaching resources for primary and secondary students, we have guías de docente and objetos de aprendizaje, and we also have different lesson plans that you can download and use in your classes. And talking about number 2, taking my next step, please don't forget that in this next step series, the objective is to foster students' use of English to pave a wider spectrum of opportunities along their professional path. Remember that this is meant for 10th and 11th graders, and that this is also to foster not only the learning of English, but also different skills that are very important nowadays, like leadership, like vocational orientation, like critical thinking, like critical reading. So please don't forget to join the Taking My Next Step series and use it because it's great and amazing. And also, please don't forget that talking about Know Now Achieving Skills, Preparing for Life, it is a booklet for students of middle school, so 10th, 11th graders, to improve or foster their English linguistic competencies so that they get ready not only for the exam, because this is something important to say, it is not only preparation for the exam, but also it is preparation for students' success at a very competitive society that we are living in this moment. So thank you very much, dear teachers. We are very happy to have you here. Thank you for all our English advisors. On behalf of the British Council and Secretaría de Educación Distrital, Plan Distrital de Bilingüismo, we thank you all. I don't know if we have any questions in the chat box, probably. David, there was a question from a teacher that you probably answered, but it would be good if we remind everybody about the place where they can find this kind of form, an action plan that you were talking about, David. Where can the
Yes,
teacher
sure.
find it?
So what I'm going to do to better give you the answer is to repeat the process so where you can find it. So remember, all you have to do is go into your browser, then you type Red Academica, like this, Red Academica, and here the first link is going to lead you to the Red Academica portal website. Once you are in there, here on this search space bar, you are going to type no now, and then you just press enter. And when you do, you are going to get several links. Just pay attention to link number 1. When you click on this link, you find the information of the booklet here, and then you have here all the links to the different materials. So the booklet and soon the diagnostic tests and the action plan, all here in Red Academica.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much. That was a very meaningful information. So now I think we all know about the place where we can find these great resources. So teachers, with no further ado, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, my friends, our English advisors, and we hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for your attendance and your participation. We hope you learned something new today, and we are pretty sure that you are going to make great use of these materials. Thank you very much.